Hello everybody. Welcome to the Monch Hours podcast, where our mission, our passion, everything we do on this podcast is to appreciate anime, manga, otaku cultures. Wait a minute, I messed that up already. Anyways, we're here. It's a brand new week. I'm your host Hans, and I'm here with my co-host Jay, who I just remembered. You know, Jordita Crunch. What happened to that name, Jordita Crunch, man?
Dude, that never stuck. You can't just be throwing. You can't go off the script, bro. You can't just be coming up with shitty ass nicknames off the cuff like that. You're better than this.
Shitty? Who said they're shitty, bro? Hey, can we take a vote right now? Jordita Crunch or Grandmaster J, or just J or Jordan? There's four options. Sunny, perfect timing. Perfect. Let me get you a vote right now, Sunny. I think you might be the single and most important vote here. Jay's name. Is it Jay? Is it Jordan? Is it Grandmaster J? Or is it Jordita Crunch? Let me know in the chat, guys. This is it. This is the crowning moment for Jay. But no, again, like I mentioned, this is the Monch Hours podcast, and we're gonna be talking about a couple cool things today. Actually, a lot of cool things. It's Friday, August 5th, and I think this is probably one of the craziest Fridays in anime and manga history, because we had the reveal of the newest, greatest Chainsaw Man trailer. And what was so special about this Chainsaw Man trailer, you ask? We had the voices. Finally, we get to hear who was playing Makima, who was playing Power, Denji, Aki, and the like. So we're gonna be talking about that. Also, the Chainsaw Man manga at the end of the program, where we can try to be as spoiler free as possible. Plus, what we've been reading, what we've been watching, and of course, other anime and manga news. So with that, we're gonna cue the intro and plug in.
From the deepest reaches of space, the boys are back in town.
Thank you so much, best friend.
And we've got an all-new lineup.
From now on, you're mine.
But more importantly, we have a show to run.
Welcome to the Monch Hours podcast.
All right, and we're back. We got a vote from Sunny. It's actually going to be Grandmaster J. I guess we're sticking with Grandmaster J. The people have spoken, and Sunny, even if everyone else voted, I'd probably choose Sunny's vote first. She's been the OG from the get-go. So it's officially Grandmaster J for the podcast, but for the server, it's Jordita Crunch. I'm making that executive decision. But no, as you guys know, every week we go ahead and drink a fresh can of brew, or crack a cold one, if you will. Every week it's a new week, new brew. And of course, at this time, I should remind myself that this is for mature audience, y'all. So if you guys are underage, see yourself out the door. We don't want you here. Wait till you get older. But this week I'm drinking Ambient Vibes. It's a hazy IPA from local Topa Topa, Southern California. Nothing crazy, nothing new. You guys know I've been on that craft scene for a while now, and the vibes are immaculate. Jay, what do you got for us?
Hey, bro, you think you're special? You're the only one on that craft scene?
Huh? I didn't say that.
Guy. Damn. No, I'm got myself a Dogfish Head 90-minute. So, you know, I'm about to be feeling a little toasty after this.
Dogfish Head. I'm liking that, man. GG's in the chat. Thanks, Sunny says the intro is sick. Sunny, I'm so glad you said that. We unveiled it last time in the podcast. Is what I've been working on. So I'm super hyped to get your input on that, especially. So thank you very much. But yes, man, Dogfish Head, they're classic, man. You can't go wrong with Dogfish Head. I think I wanted to probably pick up a couple of institutions. They have this. I'm a really big fan of like cryo hops. I think for whatever reason I just really enjoy it. It's a really crisp and crushable flavor profile. So I wanted to pick some up, but my garage fridge is like stacked to the brim, and unfortunately I have too many backlogs as it is when it comes to anime, manga, gunpla. I can't add a backlog of beer, yo. Especially because I'm not drinking during the week, and I only like drink like on one day for the weekend. Your boy's trying to lose some weight, man. I'm down 9 pounds. Let's hear it for Hansi. Down 9 pounds. Let's go. I'm not. I mean, I'm
That's
not
a big
big.
accomplishment.
Yeah,
Good
just
job,
from
bro.
walking. Just from walking.
Yeah.
Yeah, and being conscious of what I'm eating, that's a big deal. As you guys know, I had my injury March, so instead of working out, I just been walking because I can't really lift. But I just started lifting again, and actually, funny enough, I had an ultrasound yesterday, so I was like going through the same thing as like the pregnant ladies go through. And let me tell you what, that shit sucked, man. The person who did it was not nice. She's probably like, what the fuck what's dude doing here? Anyways, that's neither here nor there. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. Let's get started with the show. So, like I mentioned earlier, we had the Chainsaw Man trailer revealed today, and I gotta say that it kind of blew me away. I know we had the intro a little, the first OP a while ago, but it just had like, you know, it just had the music, it just had and the background noises. Today we actually had the reveal of the voice actors. What's your first opinion on this, man?
Dude, this is this oozing style.
Oozing style.
It definitely, I mean, just animation style, the color palette, I'm getting, you know, the Jujutsu Kaisen vibes. And that's definitely a good thing. You know what I mean? I feel like the action sequences we're seeing just look really fluid, really dynamic. There's a lot of movement. There's not a lot of just still panels, not a lot of animation tricks that other animes might pull with, like, you know, sliding over like still images.
Mm-hmm.
Everything just seems really, there's a lot of motion, I guess, and I'm excited to see how that plays out with these big, bombastic, grandiose fight scenes that we know are coming if you're a manga reader. If you're not, what are you doing with your life? Come on, let's get on it. Hansi's been preaching this for how many years now? Come on.
We've been preaching this for how many years? And we got, I think, God, it's been so long, man, because it feels like the whole, like, COVID arc, it makes me feel like it was a long time. It also makes me feel like it wasn't that long. It's like a weird blur. And we picked up Chainsaw Man early on in COVID. I think right when we about launched this podcast is when we went ahead and started that. And immediately, Jay and I both kind of talked to each other, and we were like, dude, this is some crazy shit. Because it starts off as any other shonen. It actually kind of starts off pretty dark. Like, immediately, like, Denji and Pochita's meet up. And then from there, we're like, okay, this is pretty fun, typical shonen stuff. And then about the Santa Claus arc is when things kind of went crazy. And I believe everyone can agree with that, but that's as much as I'm going to say there, because I don't want to spoil anymore else. Of course, we appreciate manga and anime only, because for some of us, I think Jay, myself, I don't know about Jay, but I'm pretty sure, but myself, I am anime only when it comes to Attack on Titan and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So I know people kind of like to do that in certain series, so no shame. Jay, do you have anything you're anime only in?
Like most things.
Yeah, I guess it's probably the other way around, right?
Yeah, it's mostly me being anime only. Yeah, basically, just say every big show. I mean, I guess I can't say that. Like, I read Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm not special in that aspect. What else? I guess the reverse is for One Piece. I've really only read it, so.
Ooh, we'll touch back on that One Piece a little later on. But back on the Chainsaw Man, dude. I want to kind of say or continue on from me where you were talking about the fluid of motion here. I absolutely lost it when I saw Power walk strutting through the hallway and her hair was just flowing as she swayed. And immediately before that was like Makima's hair kind of doing the same thing. And this is something that Mappa does that I don't know if I see much other studios really focus in on hair this much, but it really kind of stands out just how important the motion of hair really brings things to life. And I don't know, there's other studios and there's other examples of it, but it just seems very apparent when Mappa does it. It's almost like the hair is more important or just as important as the eyes. And they figured out the secret recipe, I don't know what, but the fluid emotion was fantastic. we saw a lot of emotion in Denji Power Makima, but I really want to jump to is the voices here. And I don't know, I want to say, here's what I'll say. I didn't look into the actors. I just got off work, but I'm pretty sure Denji is voiced by the same voice actor as Bakugo from My Hero Academia. It's a very recognizable voice, and he does other great and amazing shows. There's also Power, who I thinks the voice fits perfectly. Oh, I can't say enough good things about Power's voice. But the one that kind of threw me off guard or for a loop was Makima's voice. And the first time I heard it, I was like, whoa. Because we all read the manga and we all just have, like, it's our inner voice that's reading it, but it's also not our inner voice, you know? And I think when I first heard Makima, I was taken back a bit. I was like, oh, that's different. I didn't expect that. I was thinking deeper, more, because oh, okay. Wait, hold on. Before I almost said a spoiler. But at the same time, the way I hear the voice now, it actually fits. Like I watched it a couple times, and I was like, okay, no, this makes sense. This does make sense, and it's perfect for her character. The typecasting here, I don't think that's the right word, but the voice is chosen. I can't say enough good things. And we can't forget about Aki either. Aki, phenomenal voice choice as well. What do you think about the voices so far, Jay?
I think they're good. For me personally, it's a language barrier thing, where the voices, right, when watching it in sub, I don't get hung up on them as much as a bad dub. So I think I might be a minority in this. Watching anime and sub, the voices are not a focal point for me.
Oh.
So yeah, and I know I'm probably an outlier in that aspect, but
it's an interesting take for sure.
I think it's just a language barrier. I'm able to really tune out a bad voice, just because the lack of understanding. I'm more focused on having to read, to get
right,
the communication across, where just the voices can be almost I wouldn't say ambient noise, but more the melody of the show just added in as almost I don't know, sound, this part of the soundtrack,
Yeah, it fits so well. It's I get what you're saying. I can't put it into words myself, but I get what you're saying, where it's a part of the complete package.
Yeah. But it doesn't hold me up at all. I wouldn't be able to say a bad voice or a good one. That's where I come at it from. It's not necessarily. I wouldn't say it's something I'd probably would like to focus on more, because I'm sure I'm missing out on a lot that could
right,
bring more depth to these characters. But there's only so much you can focus on when you're having to read and taking
mental watch. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and my brain can't divide it all and and do all this load balancing. I suppose
it's when those people rub their belly and tap their head at the same time, and you're thinking to yourself, "Whoa, hey man, that seems easy, but it's not." And I think it's similar to that. Once it's almost, how do you say, how when people don't like beer at first and they have to get their palate used to it. I don't know. Maybe it's with sub, you get used to it, right? The more you watch and read at the same time, it all just becomes this. I don't know how I can visually see stuff. I will say that I'll touch base on this actually a little later when we talk about Cyberpunk. I'll be interesting to hear my input on that. But Chainsaw Man, I'm super stoked. It's coming out in October, so if y'all haven't seen the trailer yet, I highly suggest you watch it. Join in on the hype. This is gonna be something that's. I hate the term break the internet. I don't think it's gonna break the internet. I think it's gonna just unite anime fandom as a whole, and that's a pretty big statement, I believe, because I'm sure if you're on any part of social media when it comes to anime, if you're where the younger gens are, then I'm kind of dating myself. I'm only a millennial, and I'm 29, so. But they
old as
always
fuck.
like throw away like mid. Oh, that's mid. That's mid. That's mid. That's mid. That's low tier. That's mid tier. Blah 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 blah. They're at war, and I get it. I mean, when I was a teenager, I was all Team Bleach, right? And I could say Naruto, One Piece suck, eat my ass. But looking back, Naruto is so fucking sick, and I can't deny the original OG run for me was one of the top things. But that's neither here nor there. I believe Chainsaw Man is bringing everybody together, and on like a unite, it's gonna be insane. I can't put into words how massive this series is gonna be, and I think Jay can say for himself. He might agree. When we read this, we pretty much saw this coming. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was an easy one to predict. You're not
No.
blowing anyone's mind saying that this is gonna be a big series to come out.
Not at all, but it's fun to join in on that hype,
I appreciate your optimism for you thinking it's gonna unite the.
I gotta put it out in the universe, man.
I appreciate it. I hope it's true. There's too many just people who are counterculture who will probably just hate on it just because it's the cool thing.
I like
It's the
that
popular thing.
Counterculture. Okay.
I mean, how much of that did you see with Jujutsu Kaisen?
Oh, all over, man. Demon Slayer, JJK. It's yeah, it's a thing that just comes with anything these days. But as I said, maybe there's nothing that brings. The funny thing is, and this is true in any aspect of life, and it's especially true in the aspect of product reviews or just reviews in general, right? People, it's a 1 to 10 ratio. One person will leave a good comment or a good review or a good take versus 10 people leaving a bad. So, for example, everyone got on everyone could agree that the live action of Cowboy Bebop was complete ass. But it'll be very hard for people to say that Chainsaw Man is the GOAT. Like, I have that video in my head. The GOAT! Till this day, the GOAT! I believe it, man. I believe it with my heart. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Whatever. That just means more Chainsaw Man for us.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, when you do see the negativity, which I mean, undoubtedly there will be, just like with everything, it's typically, the vocal minority who's making up the majority of this negative noise. So don't let it dissuade you from enjoying what's going to be a good ride.
Yes, absolutely. I think that's one thing we can always remember is just because someone doesn't like it doesn't mean you can't like it as well. I will finish off the Chainsaw Man subject as to shouting out Crunchyroll has a 1-to-1 scale of Pochita, and it's a Pochita figure, and it's like $200 and some odd dollars. I kind of want it. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of do, but it's a good thing that it's a good thing that it's pre-ordered till October because I got Wombo comboed Street Fighter style. I had smog test, card registration. I had to get 2 new tires, and then I have getting new speakers tomorrow for my car. So all in the span of a week is hitting me. So no Pochita for me anytime soon.
My guy's eating ramen noodles for weeks to make up for this one.
I'm not there, dude. I'm proud to say I budget correctly and also save money. It's a skill you learn when you yeah. Hey, tell you what, you live on your everyone learns how to do it when you live on your own for once, and it's like, oh shit, man, this shit adds up super quick. I better save for the rainy days, and here we are. So bam. But that just means I get to save up again. Pochita, you may be coming home soon. That's all I gotta say. We getting that gas money come October. California, baby. 200 schmuckers. Gas. All gas, no brakes for Pochita here. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm not getting any of that.
Yeah, well, hey, man. Come to Cali, baby. Anyways, next up on the reveal, we had a couple also other cool anime news. One being that Kaiju No.8, which is a manga I particularly love, is actually announced getting an anime adaptation. And Jay, I'm not sure, did you start reading Kaiju No.8? Because I know I've mentioned it in the past.
No, you've been spouting the gospel that is Kaiju #8 for since it launched. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I jumped in on it.
And I've completely ignored you. I'm like, man, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. You fake fan.
It's one of those things where I've been a fan of kaiju's, big monsters, big mechs. I mean, obviously, you know, I like mechs and monster battles, but it's never been a thing where I've come to like, oh, I'm gonna go out and search for this kind of stuff. Like, give me more of this. Until Kaiju #8 came out and I started reading it, I'm like, man, it feels like this is filling a void. And I want to just put out there right now, everyone, Kaiju #8 is no Death Note. It's no JJK. It's no piece of literature of God. When you are going into a kaiju, anything, you understand that it's big monster smash, big monster bite, and it's just big brawly fights. That's the action. It's complete action. The story is there to power through the plot. And I'm not taking away from the plot. The plot's actually really good. The story's awesome, like it a lot. But just, you know, it's not like no freaking Da Vinci Code, okay? And I remember, like, when Godzilla versus the monsters, or Godzilla Monsterverse came out, and it was Godzilla. This was 2019, I think it was. Godzilla, Rodan, Mothra, King Ghidorah, and the only negative reviews that film got was story is weak, characters are weak, Yeah, no shit. You guys are watching a kaiju movie. Who gives a fuck what the fucking people think? Like, I want to see Godzilla smack down on Ghidorah. I want to see that go down, baby. And it did go down. It was boom, big, bombastic. And Kaiju #8 hits that, but in manga form. So you haven't seen it yet. Highly suggest you read it. It's free. I mean, it's not free, but it's on the Viz Media app, which, again, we always talk about. It's like, in terms of budgeting and whatnot, like I mentioned earlier, $3 a month, I think it is, and you get access to all these amazing series.
World.
Yeah, JJK, Kaiju #8, Chainsaw Man, Akane Banashi, I don't think I'm pronouncing that right, which is great, I'll talk about that later. And then also, they call it the Shonen Vault One Piece. Bleach, you can read 100 chapters a day, and 100 chapters is a lot.
IQ.
Oh, yes, you need to read IQ. I would love to get into and Dragon Ball, which I was reading earlier. But anyways, this Kaiju #8 is a great series. If you're looking to read something, I highly suggest reading it. It's a great read. It's a light read, like I said. It's not crazy story or dark. It's just fun. Anime has been announced, or an anime adaptation has been announced. If you're a fan of kaijus, dope announcement. Great announcement.
Was there a studio announcement, or do you see any of that?
I saw it all in, like, when it came out, the trailer I saw was all in Japanese, so I don't know what it was, but I can definitely follow up on it. It's been a busy week in terms of crazy stuff. I had to cover somebody who had a family emergency, so my workload was crazy. Also, I'm playing No Man's Sky, and then doing some edits and whatnot, so sometimes I'm taking
what is this, 2016?
Dude, I wish I can go back to 2000s, man. I was listening to Limp Bizkit on my way home. Dude, hey, hold up. Honestly, if you guys haven't listened to Limp Bizkit, this is the crazy thing. I watched, which one? It's all about the he said, she said bullshit. That one, you know that song? You live with your fat lip. I watched the video for it, and it put into perspective how big Limp Bizkit was. Because they have a whole bunch of cameos. Dr. Dre, Eminem, Snoop Dogg, freaking insane amount of famous people. And I'm gonna say this right now, guys. I unironically like some Limp Bizkit songs, so let's go.
A weird thing. So on that subject, I heard their new album is actually oddly good.
Oh, they have a new album? I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure it was Limp Bizkit. Maybe I'm thinking the wrong band, but
I know the Killers came out with a song today.
Did they?
Yeah, check that out. I'm just really into 2000 stuff lately. I think when we were kids in the 90s, but we were teens in the 2000s, and that really says something. Because that cultivated our sense of style. So much stuff.
Yeah, baggy shorts and...
I'm okay without the jorts, bro. I'm okay with all that baggy. Like, I'm talking Linkin Park era.
Yeah.
PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 era.
PSPs.
Yeah, bro. I was just talking to some guys. Oh man, I need to get. Dude, I had a jail. I don't know how I freaking. This is the age of the internet where you can jailbreak a PSP, and this is like how to jailbreak a PSP, everybody, and do not try this at home. But you essentially took the battery out. This is what I did. Popped the battery, cracked it open, took the case off, cut a section or engraved a section in the chip. Then I filled that with lead and essentially crossed 2 wires, and the lead was enough metal to produce a current. Or I don't fucking know how it worked. That's how my little teen brain made it work. And then it was and then you put some software in it, jailbroken. Crazy ass shit.
Then you're playing Mario Brothers on your PSP.
I'm playing Mario. I got emulators. I'm playing with. And you know what I did this for? Was mainly to play online with Monster Hunter with people in Japan. Because that game was hard when I was a kid. I wasn't even a kid.
Yeah,
I was fucking in high school. What am I talking about? Anyways, anime. Kaiju No.8 released. We had a new CYBERPUNK trailer come out this week too. Did you guys catch that CYBERPUNK trailer? Did you catch it? If you haven't caught it, watch it. Remember, even if you don't like Cyberpunk, this is being animated by Studio Trigger, who made Kill la Kill, who made that one animal show, not Beastars, the other one, Real Animal, I think it was. They made
Brand new
animal, yeah. Kiz Niver. They produced Gurren Lagann, or I think that was Skynax. They produced so many. Oh, Promare, the latest movie that came out. Just amazing things. Jay, you watched it, right?
I did. So I think it looks awesome. It's not a but.
Oh,
it's
okay.
So I never played the game. Will I be losing anything from not having that connectivity to the game?
No, I don't think you need any connectivity to the game at all.
Okay. I mean, I was gonna watch it regardless because it looks awesome, and it's just a ton of cyberpunk goodness that I feel like I've been missing. I mean, you've been getting your Ghost in the Shell.
Of course.
I haven't been getting that fix, so.
Love
I mean,
it.
I feel like even there was little nods to Ghost in the Shell. You know, there's a quick scene where it looks like a female character has like that tight spandex, like
Yeah.
I don't even know, like the secondary skin that makes you invisible in Ghost in the Shell, but it looks like you're naked pretty much.
Right. Yeah. That
I
exoskin.
was like, oh, exo skin. Yeah, I was like, oh, is that a nod? Probably, but I just was curious if,
yeah. I
if
think a
they're
lot
how
of.
connected.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm just curious how connected. Like, is there any mention of edge running in the game?
Yeah. There's a lot of it. So, to kind of break this down, we'll work in reverse. Cyberpunk, it takes place in the Cyberpunk 2077 universe, right? Cyberpunk, backwards in time, the game Cyberpunk 2027, backwards in more time was actually a board game and a story by Mike Ponce, I think that's pronounced his name. So this IP's been out for a while. So then you take everything into motion, and yeah, edge running has been it's like net running, edge running. I don't think edge running has been too. If maybe I just need a refresher back into the cyberpunk world, but I'm familiar with a lot of net runners, and you know you're on the system, so maybe edge running is running between the edge of both of those lines, IRL and net running, right? At least that's what I got from the trailer, and I'm super stoked because it looks phenomenal. There looks like there's some gore coming into it, which we didn't mention. Chainsaw Man's not going to be censored. And I don't think this is going to be it. Trigger really doesn't censor stuff to begin with. I mean, you guys seen Kill la Kill? Right. Anyways, we have a really cool cast of characters. The one you mentioned with like the exosuit, and again, it could be a nod to Ghost in the Shell. Probably is because I haven't seen much do it. I thought there's another nod too with the character being named Lucy, who, and this is me just connecting strings here. Lucy, as in Scarlett Johansson's Lucy, as in Scarlett Johansson playing Motoko in the Ghost in the Shell movie. I don't know. Maybe there's some kind of
that everyone
being
saw.
paid. Right. And I think just cyberpunk in general is a very loved theme, and when it's done right, no one really, if there's homages or things that are paying honor to something or replicating something, people love it because it's a fan favorite. Even like Blade Runner, right? We have the old one and we have the new one, and everything kind of becomes an amalgamation. Oh, I said it right that time. I'm learning, y'all. Learning. And remember, I don't know if you ever seen Altered Carbon in Netflix. Just season 1. Don't watch the rest. I couldn't binge season 1. Couldn't even finish season 2. But it's super stoked. I will say this though: when we were talking about earlier about the sub and the reading, when I was watching that trailer, it was difficult for me to keep up with the words and what was actually happening on screen. I get it was a trailer, and there was a lot of cuts and whatnot, and the glitches are part of the cyberpunk thing. But for me personally, I was like, if I'm having trouble with it, some people are definitely having trouble with this.
Yeah, I didn't even try to read. Honestly, I was just watching all the flashing lights. So that might add to my confusion about if there was going to be a disconnect between watching this and trying to pick up on context that might have been laid out in the game, or even as you mentioned in the board game from the source. So I'm glad you kind of cleared that up.
Yeah, what I mainly... My bad, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I kind of imagined that they were going to set it up as a individually digestible piece of just media, instead of forcing you to have a deep investment in the game to be able to even enjoy this show. So I wasn't too concerned, but
no, I would paint it like this. Essentially, if for Cyberpunk 2077, for Cyberpunk 2020, oh my god, for Cyberpunk 2077, and for Cyberpunk Edgerunners, I don't think you need to play the game or the board game or catch on anything else. What I would paint this as, or what I would use as an explanation, is all these take place in the same universe, same exact story, different paths, different dimensions, I guess you will, right? Different timelines, as that seems to be the hottest thing. Same story, same area, same general theme, different timelines, different... I mean, actually, it's probably not different timeline, because the name... Funny enough... Okay, fuck it, whatever thing I just said. All that matters is that you don't need to play the game to enjoy the show. Yeah. I will say this, though. Somebody brought this up, or caught this. In the game, there is a drink you can order at the bar called the David Martinez or something, and it has a brief quote of he lived it. Essentially, he had a good life and he's died. In summary, the main character's name is David Martinez, y'all, or David something. Ooh. I don't know. It's David. And somebody brought it up, and Cyberpunk kind of said, "Ooh," and they did emojis, "Ooh," the eye thing, double eyes, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's so sick, man!" And knowing Trigger, if it's a one shot, people are gonna die for sure. They're gonna hit that emotion, as they always do, that emotional chord. But nonetheless, I'm looking forward to it. So we're gonna move into what we've been reading and what we've been watching. I'll get up to Jay here to go first, man. What you got on your plate this week, past couple weeks?
Reading wise, I feel like a broken record, but guess what I'm about to say?
Blue Lock.
Oh no,
One
I
Piece.
finished the first volume. There it is. Yeah, I'm still working my way through One Piece, so I won't dwell on that for too long. Really, reading wise, I've just been getting caught up because I had been slacking on a lot of my reading. My backlog is getting a bit overwhelming, and just been I jumped back into Blue. Actually, what's this one? The other one, the badminton romance one. I can't remember what it's called. I should probably look that up. But I've been getting caught up on that. Dragon Ball Super, and Mashal, which didn't mention, but that's also got an anime announcement, so that's gonna be cool. Talk
Oh, I
about,
didn't know
you
that.
mentioned, yeah, it was I think couple weeks ago. Uh, it's gonna be similar to how you said Kaiju No.8, not big on a story, but just a lot of visual goodness. I'm assuming. I don't even think they put out any like art or definitely not a trailer yet. So that's something that I have on my radar though. I've enjoyed this story. Really simplistic, I guess, is a good way. Simplistic in a good sense of that term. That could be taken as a negative, but it's something that's easily digestible. You don't have to put a lot of thought into when reading it. It's real straightforward.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's something I've been reading. Watching wise, jumped into the second season of Devil's a Part-Timer, which is it it shouldn't be good. And I think people feel the same about the first season. It's one of those things like it's
Why
got a
is
lot
that?
of love.
I haven't seen it, so
Just
kind of relate me.
I mean, if I were to tell you like it's a story about like a reverse isekai where the devil gets transported to our world and is
Yeah.
living a life as a normal person, and you're like, oh, that's just I don't know. I feel like this is the isekai trope. It's easy for those to go south pretty pretty regularly. You know, there's I feel like for every good one, there's five bad isekai. And
Yeah.
if you were to ask me just based on premise, I would be like, oh, that's a throwaway. And typically, when the titles of shows are as such, like The Devil's a Part-Timer, or any of those long, this is my life in this world as a blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
those are the ones I'm like, this is probably not going to be the greatest.
Well, Sunny said
But
she's seen the first one.
yeah, and it's enjoyable, right? It's the there's a lot of good comedy in it. There's a lot of situational stuff that makes you actually laugh out loud, and you actually become invested in these characters. And it picks up from the first season and continues that. And I'm surprised to say that I didn't know I was missing it, but I'm glad it's back because it's been like I feel like 8 years, something crazy. It's been a long time since the first season,
I know it's been a
and
while.
yeah, I think the first season was
What's up, What's up, B1? Nice
I
to
don't
see you
know.
drop by. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for plugging in.
I can't find where the first season is, but or
Is it
what
Crunchyroll?
year?
Oh, year. Okay.
It Yeah, it's on Crunchyroll, but I want to say at least 6 years since the first season. But yeah, no, it's one of those things where you just excited when it's back, and I find myself looking forward to like watching the episode as it releases. I actually have been looking in the comments to see like people's reactions and stuff.
Oh, wow.
When the yeah, I know I'm like, whoa, I'm part of this community, sense of belonging here.
The
But,
summer, I think Sunny says similar things. She said she enjoyed season 1, so that's good. I remember walking to the first time I've heard of it was actually at a drive-thru at a coffee spot, and I think I had a sticker on my car. I think it was Gundam, Unicorn Gundam, and the person commented on it, and they were like, "Have you seen Devil's a Part-Timer?" I was like, "No."
It's a weird association with Gundam.
Well, I mean, anime, you know.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. On top of that, another isekai that I've been watching that I don't think should be good, but I've been looking forward to is Netflix put out, I think it's My Uncle from Another World.
Oh, what?
And yeah, and it's same concept, a reverse isekai. I don't even know, it's not even a reverse. It's like a full circle. So the story is there's an uncle, this kid's uncle. It doesn't. I can't remember what the explanation, but he ends up in a coma,
Okay.
and you know how like the trope is like a character die or person dies in our world and ends up in another world that
Right.
get isekai'd. So he's in a coma, and he comes out of it, and he's been in this coma 17 years. Those 17 years he's spent in another world. So now he was in our world. He went there. Now he's isekai'd back to our world.
Oh, full circle. Okay.
But yeah, so it's a full circle isekai. But he comes back with like his abilities from that world, so he can do magic. He's
What?
like speaking a different. He's like speaking a different language, like trying to speak his magic, and he's like, "Oh, I just have to use Japanese here."
Oh.
So it's like him with these like fantasy powers in our world, and he's like talking about, or he started a YouTube channel, and he's doing like magic and stuff. There's I think the last episode, or maybe the one before, he transforms himself into like an elf girl and starts doing gaming videos
Dude,
on
what?
his
This is
YouTube
on
channel.
Netflix?
Yeah, it's oddly entertaining.
I'm gonna have to peep this. I'm gonna have to peep this 'cause that does sound funny. I'm all for that.
Yeah. And I also started Welcome to the NHK, which is, I think when I looked it up, it came out in like 2006, so it's fairly old. But it's kind of etchy, but it's been pretty entertaining. It's about if you haven't seen it, about a guy who is basically a shut-in. I can't remember what the term they use in Japanese is, but
Hikikomori?
yeah, that is exactly it. Look at you.
Hey, oh, yeah, yeah,
Hey,
yeah, yeah,
look
yeah,
at you,
yeah.
dude.
Look at me, guys. Everybody,
Yes.
look at me. Your boy knows what he's talking about. Hey, okay, come on.
So yeah, it's basically about his life with that, and then this girl comes and like says she can cure him of this what she calls a disease, and then it's basically just like situations that he finds himself in while navigating his shut-in life, and it's been pretty entertaining, even if it's pretty etchy. Which I mean, is something that it's not my favorite thing. The fan service isn't my favorite thing, but it doesn't push me away. It doesn't turn me off to stuff, I guess. And there's a lot of it.
Okay. Well, hey, I mean, if you can get it's like kind of like Fire Force, I guess. If you can get past the fan service that comes, that underneath that is a pretty fantastic series.
I would say it's not even. So there's one story arc is him and this other guy who's like an aspiring game developer. They decide to begin their journey to make a hentai game.
Oh,
So
whoa.
it's not even just underlining tropes. It's like straight on, like pretty etchy.
Okay. Well, hey, no shame on that. No shame on that. No harm, no
Hey,
foul.
I'm not hating. I'm still watching.
You know, I started, so Overlord came back on this season, and I've spoken about Overlord in the past, so it kind of got me back into watching my anime, and I think it's like every Tuesday. I haven't seen this week's episode, but I'm all caught up with the last ones, and I have to say that it's keeping up on pace with the greatness that is Overlord. And for you guys that haven't heard me talk in the past, essentially it is I guess it would be an isekai. Yeah, it would. But essentially what ends up happening is this guy plays an MMO with his friends, and they'll make this like super crazy castle in this MMO world, and it ends up shutting down. So they all decided that at the last day on the shutdown, they're all going to be in the castle and spend their final moments together. Well, only the main character, Ainz Ul shows up, and he decides to stay there anyways with the NPCs. Clock strikes 12, and the game's still going. The game's still running. Fast forward to the seasons. Essentially, he's the only, as we know, I don't know, but currently the only actual person in this world still as a character, and the rest are NPCs. So of course he's overpowered, and the characters are all overpowered that are in his kingdom, and essentially it goes through this world domination aspect while also being a lich and trying to kind of teeter between the lines of what's good and what's bad. But this season's been great so far. We're getting more albedo, which is always great, and it's just, there's a lot of antics already happening, and it's leading up to be like this kind of political mind game warfare that's going on right now, and everyone's still going like, oh my god, he used tier 5 death magic, and is he a god? And all these like mortals are kind of going crazy, and so it's scaling up right now. If you haven't seen Overlord, I highly suggest you watch it. I mean, there's a lot of things I do suggest, but this one in particular, it's a great one, especially if you like isekai, or if you're not a fan of isekai, you want something entirely different or something that leans into it, definitely give Overlord a shot. Character is awesome, art is awesome, everything about it is awesome. Can't say enough good things. Speaking about One Piece, I did read it, at least where Oda said it was okay to read, because if Oda said it's okay, it's okay. So I read it. I'm like started at 10:53, I'm at 10:54, and at 10:55 I think it's the latest one, yeah?
I'm not.
Oh, you're not even caught up?
You're ahead of
I'm
me.
actually ahead of Jay, dude. I used my isekai powers and I skipped everybody, so sorry, suckers. Got another way of the game, baby.
Yeah, I'm like 500 chapters from that. Maybe like 400.
No, but it's been good, man. It's. I don't think that was entirely true that you can just start from there, because there's obviously stuff I'm missing. I'm like, oh shit. Okay, well, I don't know who the fuck this is, and I guess this is important. And why does this guy look like this? Haven't seen him that way anywhere else. But yeah. Sunny says, "OMG, yay, yay,
Something
guys! I'm
about-
all caught up with One Piece."
Something I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like One Piece is a series that you can jump in, at least at the beginning of each new arc. It's fairly easy to get up to date on these characters, and there's, I mean, obviously with over 1,000 chapters, 1,000 episodes, you've got a lot of backstory, but I feel like it's one of those that you can like easily just get caught up in the context of the situation that's going on.
Right.
And I mean, also, I'm not at that point where I'm all caught up, so I could be speaking out of my ass. I know there's a major time jump that I haven't even hit, so don't take me to be like the authority on all things One Piece, but it's my 2 cents.
This is the guy. Jay's the guy. No, but it's been good. What I want to talk about is this other series called, I believe, and I'm going to mispronounce the name for sure, Kane Banashi. And this is a series that's been on Viz Media for a little bit now, or the Shonen Jump app. And I've seen it on there. It's kind of caught my interest, but never fully given the shot to read it. Until recently, where I saw that not only Oda, the mangaka for One Piece, but Hideki Anno, the creator for Neon Genesis Evangelion, both rate that super high and is a must-read in their opinion. So I started it this week. So I stopped Super because it got to Moro, and I'm like, I don't want to.
Just skip Moro. Let's go to the next arc.
Yeah, that's what I hear. So yeah. But anyways, Akane Banashi is about not typically what you'd really find in Shonen Jump, or in general. It's about a story of I think it's pronounced Rogoku, and it's a type of Japanese theater where a person is alone, just by themselves, on top of a katsu. I think that's the word for the pillow, and they perform a story where they are play every single character, and the trick is to mimic these characters individually to where the audience feels like they are watching all these characters in the same room. In summary, in a nutshell, I know I'm probably not giving it the the due credit that's due. But that's just a brief summary of it, and I'm loving it, man. It's great. Art's fantastic. Comedy's there. Plot's moving forward. I get it. And I'm happy that I kind of caught those recommendations from Oda and Ano, because I think there's something there. I mean, there's definitely, I mean, of course there's something there. What am I talking about? They recommend it, but it's something I wouldn't normally read or have on my radar whatsoever, and I'm really enjoying it. I really am. So I'm not sure if you've seen that, but maybe you should give it a shot, man. If you have time. I know you got a backlog, but it's a fairly new series.
Could you give us the title again?
Akane Banashi, AKANE. Let me look it up. Let me get my app.
I'll give the first.
Akane Banashi.
Let's see, where is this?
There's only 24 chapters out right now.
Okay, you know what I'll do? I'll read the first one for you.
Hey, if Jake can read it, so can everyone else.
Join me. We'll do this as a community.
A community that is the Monch Hours, baby. The strongest community out there. You already know what it is.
The best.
The best. But I've been having my anime and manga fixed pretty well. I believe there was, let me see, like I mentioned, Dragon Ball Super. Obviously, JJK has been crazy. I feel like there's so much stuff right now, we don't even get enough time to talk about manga. Like, the hour mark comes up so soon. It's just like, damn, bro. It's like we're gonna need to have like a dedicated show just to talk about like the manga chapters, like split it up. Like I don't even know, but it's hard. It's hard, man. There's so much good stuff right now.
Doing how we used to do. Just dedicated manga breaks and.
Yeah, I mean, true. We could, but
yeah. We'll
see how it
old
goes.
episodes would run like 2 hours.
I know they would, dude. That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's not even the start of it, because October is stacked, dude. If you guys don't already know, October is gonna have Chainsaw Man. It's gonna have Mob Psycho, Bleach, new season My Hero Academia. It's gonna be crazy. And there's more too. I think, Spy Family, the second part. It's gonna be crazy.
I don't know if it's gonna be this season, but Hajime no Ippo, there's a new season of that.
And we know October we go in on the horror shit like Junji Ito, so it's always a fun month for us.
Ooh.
Yeah, man.
When is
Liminal
what's
Zone?
it called? Uzumaki. No.
What?
Uzumaki.
What about Uzumaki? Oh, coming out
When's
anime?
this?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's serious.
It's been kind of in limbo. It's kind of been in the liminal zone.
When's a creepy balloon?
Oh yeah, hanging blimps. Oh, my favorite.
Ooh.
Oh, one of my favorites. Yeah, I love Junji Ito. Definitely gonna get that going. But yeah, I mean, we're at the hour mark here, so like, do we jump into the manga? I don't even know, man. I'm gonna take that as a no. I'm gonna take that. Hey,
I'll leave it up to you, dude. I
know you're a busy guy, so I think, man,
I'll ride with you, bro. If you want to jump in, I'll ride with you.
It's rough because I don't have, like, I'm not gonna give the proper, like, I get gassed out. I do get gassed out like after an hour. Like, my enthusiasm does, like, it doesn't go. But you know, you're talking, you're streaming. An hour goes by. It takes a lot, especially because we're at the end of a work week. And for me, like on my side, like, I do customer service and sales, and I talk all the time. And like, I'm covering today, and I talked to this dude today, who's a conspiracy theorist, bro. Let me tell you something about this guy. Apparently, the U.S. Army fought the giant of Kandahar in Afghanistan in 2016, who was like 15 feet tall, and it took 15 minutes of concentrated fire to take him down. And this guy believes that.
I don't even know what you just said to me.
I don't even fucking know. I don't even know. But man, I don't know. Man. We're gonna have to. I'll have to.
Isn't that where Black Adam's from?
Maybe that's
Kandahar?
the giant of Kandahar, man. But so we'll wrap this up. We'll catch up on manga on the next episode. Whatchamacallit, Chainsaw Man is going on a 2-week break anyways. I think it's actually going bi-weekly anyways. So, but yeah.
Oh no! Don't tell me that.
Yeah. So, thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. We're definitely at the hour here, and we appreciate you guys spending your time on a Friday for sure to join us, to watch with us. And if you're listening, same thing, man. Thank you for listening. We're going to get things in motion more. I have a pretty important vacation coming September, but I want to kind of get things going before and afterwards. And again, October is always fun. So if you don't already, get in touch with us on social media or Discord. That's where we're going to start our monthly watch-alongs and read-alongs as well. We're going to kick that back up, especially now that summer's over and people are going to, or almost over, or it's going to be, people go indoors more often. That's when we kind of get more in touch with everybody since it gets darker soon anyway. So thank you guys for watching the Monch Hours podcast. As always, it's been a pleasure, absolute pleasure for you guys dedicating your time and spending it with us. Thank you. Catch us on Twitter at Monch Hours, Instagram at Monch Hours. You can also touch or connect with me personally at HAUNZZY or HAUNCC. Just search one of those up. I'll just do Monch Hours. I'm the guy who you're talking to anyways. It's me, Hans. But it's another great week. Again, thank you, Jay, for joining me on another week for co-host. I appreciate you, man. And with that, we will end the show.
We out.